It's actually the vehicle that got me into overlanding. Once in a while you see some really old stuff out here. It's still snowing, so we'll see what tomorrow morning brings, I guess. Oh well, I'm still eating it. So I just put in a solid afternoon of highway driving on Highway 3. I'm getting close to Princeton, where the Whipsaw Trail is. For those of you guys that don't know, Whipsaw Trail is a pretty iconic trail in Canada here, BC especially. So I'm thinking maybe hit that and find a camping spot on there somewhere. Oh, here we go. We just got onto the Whipsaw here. I think the beginnings of it over here is going to be just a gravel road. We'll see. Never been here before. Well guys, I found this side road here. It looks like a camp spot. I'm parked under a couple of big trees where there's a little bit less snow to walk around on and stuff, so I think this is going to be home for the night. It's about 6 p.m. local time, so it's starting to get dark. So instead of looking for a camp spot when it's completely dark, I think I'm going to take this one and yeah, call it a night. We're going to give the shock a quick little clean. I'm going to just toss this into the ultrasonic cleaner, but probably not going to risk it. Well, good morning guys. It's I think day 3 or 4 on the trail. I had a really nice sleep last night. It's really warm out here. It's maybe around 0, almost on the plus, I would say, maybe +1. Found this awesome little spot underneath some trees just off the main Whipsaw Trail. So that was pretty handy. It was pretty deep, the snow getting in here, but got in here no problem in the end. It's about knee deep, I guess, in spots. So I had to kind of really give her the berries yesterday in a couple of places. What an awesome machine this van is. I have so many memories of this thing. I've owned it for probably about 15 years, so I mean, look at it. What a majestic beast. It's pretty fantastic, I would say. Wouldn't you? Yeah, it's right in its element here. It looks good. Just parked here, or going down the road, or going down the trail. It's just an awesome machine. It's got tons of power with the LS motor in it, 5.3, and it drives fantastic down the road and on the icy highways that I had to drive on the last couple of days. It handles awesome. So I didn't film much last night because by the time I got here and got situated and everything, shoveled around the van just a little bit, make life a little easier, it was already dark. And the snow's so deep here that I didn't really feel like going through the forest to find firewood, because there is a fire pit here and there's some chopping blocks and everything, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like doing the work last night. And I had cell service here, so I was able to catch up on some texts and emails and stuff, and even watched some YouTube, so that was kind of nice, just a relaxing evening. But anyways, I'm just about ready to go here. Just got a couple more things to do, finish packing the van up, and then let's get out of here. Well, that was fun getting out of there. As you could tell, there was a little bit of deep snow. The van's only got 31-inch tires, so they're basically just normal sized tires. Bigger than the vans originally come with, for sure. They come with 27s, but it's still a pretty small tire, so deep snow can be a challenge sometimes, but it did okay, that's for sure. All right, so now we're gonna get out of this little side road and back on the Whipsaw, and then I'm gonna see if I can finish doing the loop on it, because it looks like it's plowed, so we'll see. So I'm just looking on Onyx here, and there's something weird going on, because this loop was originally what I thought was the Whipsaw, and that's what it's labeled as, Whipsaw Trail. And it loops back to Princeton by the looks of it. So that's the loop I was going to do, but then once you zoom in, that disappears and it goes that way to Highway 5. And if you click on that, it also calls it the Whipsaw Trail, but this part of the loop here is gone. So now I'm not sure if I should do this, because this is 100 kilometers. I'm not sure if this is going to be all forestry road, that's like what I've been just driving, that's been plowed, or if it turns into like a deep snow-covered trail at some point here. I could follow it for a while. I did start out early today just because I wanted to do this loop, but now I don't even know where the loop is. It only appears when you zoom out. So what's going on here, Onyx? Try restarting the app already. It doesn't seem to be helping. Interesting. Not being here before, it's kind of a mystery, right? So anyways, I think I'll keep going for a while. I got time, I got fuel, I got food, I got everything, so let's go for an adventure. Well, I just run into a whole big group of guys going snowmobiling, so I flagged one of them down and asked them about this road, and they basically said that this road is not plowed all the way to make a loop like I thought. I think it's only plowed because they're logging here right now, and I did run into some logging traffic, big trucks. I'm not going to be able to explore the rest of this road this time around, but maybe I'll come back in the summer. And because it's so tight and there's big snow banks, it's hard to pull over sometimes for these big trucks, and they're working out here today, so I'm gonna let those guys do their thing and turn around and get out of here. I do have a small radio with me, but unfortunately I don't have this channel for this road programmed in there, so that's another kind of a hazard hazardous thing. So for those couple of reasons, I'm just gonna turn around and start heading back out of here, and then towards the highway, and then towards Vancouver. That was a short little adventure, but you gotta try, right? It's very narrow in places, basically car and a half width. This is where you gotta call. It's a must call area, and of course I don't have the frequency. I hope I don't meet a truck coming this way on here. Well guys, I made it out of there. That was a little more stressful than it was fun, to be honest. I didn't want to get the van smashed into by a little big logging truck. So I think it was the right decision to get out of there today. In the end, I did find the frequency for that channel. I was able to get internet for 1 bar of internet in one spot, and I looked it up, and then I programmed it into my little radio here. It's just a handheld, so in the mountains especially, it doesn't have a huge amount of range, but at least this last part coming down, which is really narrow, basically a 2-track, made me feel a little bit better to be able to at least listen if somebody was coming up. Anyway, I'm out of there. Gonna have a little lunch here and then hit the highway. Just had to stop here because it's gorgeous. It's +10, and I was in -23, 25 a couple of days ago. So nice to see leaves and some green grass, I guess. Seems like it's been a long winter, so it's really nice. If you live somewhere like I do, like in Alberta, where it's winter for 6 months of the year, you really appreciate this kind of stuff. Small things.
I went down to the sea, where the river finally finds its sweet relief. And I got down on my knees. Oh, sand and ocean, please deliver me.
Well guys, I made it to the human zoo they call Vancouver. So, staying at this Capilano RV park right by the Lions Gate Bridge. So it'll be nice and close to go and do my stuff on Hastings tomorrow. And then I want to get the heck out of Dodge and go into the wilderness again as soon as possible. So yeah, that was my day. Well, all done in Vancouver. I ended up changing back into my camping clothes, and thank goodness, because it's a bit of a zoo there, as you can expect in a big city, and some aggressive driving going on. Not by me, but I'm just trying to make it out of there alive without any damage on the van. So just happy to be out on the highways again. thought it would be a good idea to make my way towards Kamloops, because that area usually has milder winter, and there are roads and trails in that area that I was thinking about exploring tomorrow. For now, it's the highway, but that doesn't mean there isn't interesting stuff along the way. It was still early in the day, so on the way to the Kamloops area I thought it'd be fun to check out a few roads and trails that others have posted on Onyx. In the end, I ended up trying about 3 different tracks.
How's it going?
Some turned into snowmobile-only trails for the winter. Some were too deep for the van, or not on my map, and going in the wrong direction.
I'm gonna just check, make sure we're on the right trail. No. So this is not the road we need. The other one that's completely snowed in is the one we need. So no go, I guess, to the tower. That sucks. This one is not even on my map, so I don't want to really chance it because I have no idea where it ends up. I might be on this thing for another 3 hours for all I know. So oh well, it was fun while it lasted, so I'm going to turn around and then come back on this one in the summer. Might take some Austin power doing, but we should be able to do it. Wheelbase, or short wheelbase, sorry, small vehicles. They really pay for themselves in these kinds of situations where you gotta whip it around because you're on the wrong trail. Well guys, that was fun. Didn't get to where I wanted to get to, but still a fun road, pretty easy for the van. There was the offshoot there that, or the actual road that I wanted to take to the top, but it was completely covered in snow, and this snow is really wet. So this kind of stuff is when you get stuck in it, it's going to be a lot of winching, pretty hard on the van. This thing is only on 31s, right? So it would be a massive struggle, and I just didn't want to put the van through that kind of abuse too, especially considering that we're thinking about selling it. So this area here, these 3 trails I tried, they're around Merritt, and I know that around Kamloops the weather is always a little warmer in the winter too, so we'll see what the snow is like there, and maybe check out a couple of trails there as well in that area before making the final push home. I got a couple more hours of daylight, so we'll get going and see if we can find a camp spot for tonight. Alright, there's a nice little wreck site here actually at this lake. Nobody around, so I'm gonna take one of these spots for the night. Okay, I am parked. It's a nice little lake. It's called Bleecker Lake. Bleecker Lake. There's a sign right here. I just have to go scrounge around for some wood now if I want to have a fire, because I would like to have smokies for supper tonight if possible. I didn't bring my little handsaw, unfortunately. Let's see what we can find. So the nice part is there's not a very big amount of snow in these hills, so I'm hoping tomorrow I can link up some of these trails and roads to another one that's on Onyx, and not have to go back to the highway. That would be the ultimate. Just stay on gravel for a good part of tomorrow morning. I scored some dry stuff to start with. One thing I really love about this van is how I have it set up with the lights on the roof rack, and with the remote I can basically turn them all on or off or whatever, pretty much all the way around, and kind of light up the camp spot. So simple, but that's something I really wish I had on the camper truck. It's definitely on the list. Well, I think it's a beer and juice kind of night tonight. Kind of thirsty, so oh yes, that is perfect. Well, cheers guys. Delicious. So I'm gonna just do my smokies on the nice fire I got going, and then maybe sit out here for a little bit after supper, burn the rest of the wood. So I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. Well, good morning, guys. It was a really nice night here at Bleecker Lake wreck site, and I was the only one here, so nice and quiet. After breakfast, I'm going to keep going on this road and see if I can link up to a couple other ones. There's supposed to be another lake, and then beyond that there's a trail that's actually marked on Onyx that leads back to the highway. So instead of going back the way I came, I'm hoping I can link up to that trail and then hit the highway from there. So tomorrow I have to be back home, so this is kind of like the last little hurrah on the back roads and stuff, and then it's going to be highway pretty much all the way. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed taking the van out again. I do definitely see why Ann and I went to the camper truck, and it's mostly just the ease and comfort for being older now and being in and out. It's a lot easier to get in and out of the camper. I think the age thing's catching up to me. So, but anyways, so now I'm just gonna finish up breakfast and get going and see if I can make this loop. Going down this road for a little while now, and it doesn't look like any vehicles have really been on here. I think it's mostly side-by-sides and quads and snowmobiles, but if you get off the trail it's almost knee deep, but if you stay on the trail, I'm actually driving on some hard pack underneath, so not terrible. It's just you can't get off the side at all, or else you're just gonna sink in there. So far so good. So I'm just gonna keep going and see if I can make a loop out of this thing like I've been saying. But I was kind of hoping I was gonna not be as much snow. There was a lot less snow down by the lake, and of course as you get higher there's more of it, but it's really like snowman type of snow too, so really easy to get stuck in. Snow's definitely getting deeper and it's getting hilly. So far I'm chewing through, but so I'm gonna try to take a run at this hill and see what happens. Just double checking on my Onyx here, and it looks like we are on the right path.
but who knows? Can't make this hill. That'll be it. We gotta turn around. Okay, here we go. Hills kind of worry me if I have to turn around, and I gotta make them all the way back too. So especially ones like this with a corner in them. Well, I don't know, guys. I think I'm pretty much just on a snowmobile and side-by-side trail. I don't see any other tracks besides that. Look at, it's all just, I'm driving on top of this stuff. If I sink through, that's where I run into a lot of trouble. I don't know, this trail supposedly keeps going and it links up to another trail and then maybe a road. I want to make it. It's going to take some time. At the same time, I don't want to spend 2 hours winching and digging and stuff like that. So I don't know what to do. Like here, if you stay on the hard pack, you can walk on it, but as soon as you step off, and that's the problem with the van, you know, like it floats to a degree and then it just kind of like sinks. So yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. Well, regardless of what I'm gonna do, I decided to let some air out of the tires. I'm still running highway pressure here, so I don't know. I'm gonna go down to maybe 20, and that should help me a lot. Traction wise, I'll try 20, maybe a little lower. There's no real big chance of rolling it off the bead here or anything. There's no side angles or anything like that, so we'll try that and get some more flotation, and then I don't know, maybe I will try going over there a little bit and just see what happens. So we're here for, right? A little bit of adventure. Okay, I'm down to 15. I'm gonna leave it at that. Well, I thought I had a way through. Then I ran into some private property, a big gate, so I couldn't go through there. Now there's saying there's a rough trail that might link up to another road, but it's pretty rough, and the snow here is pretty deep. There's huge holes. I just walked some of this. A couple of those are like 3 feet deep, and I don't know what's underneath the snow. I don't know if I can turn around here or not, but I'm gonna try it, I guess. See what happens. Oh, yeah, there's just tons of holes here. So I don't know if I'll get stuck or what, but I'm gonna have to try to turn around, I think. I guess that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I seen somebody else turn around here too, and they had a lot more issues than me. They tried to turn around and they got in there and dug a big hole. This was before the last snowfall. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna try to go a different way. I got one last chance, I think, and then I don't know, I might have to go back.
Well guys, looks like I made it in a very roundabout kind of way, but we are on a main road here, looks like. So yeah, that is awesome. That was a cool little adventure for sure. It looks like it's actually even paved, this one. So this is the route that was on Onyx that I was trying to get to, except I was trying to get to it way further north, closer to Kamloops. I ended up coming out here, but right on. It worked out in the end. Try a few different trails, take a couple of chances, and yeah, here we are. Well, I'm gonna try to inflate my tires now and then hit the highway. That was fun.